The galaxy had always looked down on humanity. For thousands of years, every single species in the Council treated Earth like it was nothing more than a servant world. Humans were seen as weak creatures who only existed to serve the stronger races. They forced humans to build their cities. They made humans mine their resources. They used human labor to fuel their empires across the stars. The galaxy grew rich while humanity suffered in chains. But the aliens made one critical mistake. They underestimated what happens when you push humans too far. They did not see the fire growing in human hearts. They did not notice the plans being made in secret. They thought humans would stay broken forever. They were wrong. The day of reckoning started on a normal morning. The Galactic Council gathered in their massive station orbiting the planet Zenther. Representatives from every species sat in their seats. The Vraxians with their blue-scaled skin. The Korthax with their multiple arms. The Selkari with their glowing eyes. All of them comfortable and proud. All of them believing they were untouchable. Then the human delegation arrived. But something was different this time. The humans did not walk with their heads down. They did not show fear in their eyes. They walked into that council chamber like warriors entering a battlefield. The lead human ambassador was named Marcus Kane. His face was calm, but his eyes burned with purpose. The council leader barely looked up. He spoke with boredom in his voice. He asked why the humans requested this emergency meeting. Marcus smiled. It was not a friendly smile. He placed a small device on the table. The hologram activated and showed something that made every alien in the room freeze. It was a map showing human fleet's position around every single council homeworld. The room went silent. The council leader stood up from his chair. His voice shook with anger and confusion. He demanded to know what this meant. How did humans build fleets without anyone noticing? Where did they get the resources? Where did they get the technology? Marcus Kane let the questions hang in the air for a moment. Then he spoke with a voice that echoed through the entire chamber. He told them that humans had been preparing for this day for over 200 years. Every mining operation, the aliens forced humans to work and became a secret construction facility. Every cargo ship humans were made to pilot carried hidden weapons. Every human servant in every alien household was actually a spy gathering information. The galaxy thought they were using humanity, but humanity was using them right back. The Vraxian commander slammed his fist on the table. He called this impossible. He said their security systems would have detected any military buildup. Marcus laughed. He explained that human hackers had been inside their systems for decades. Every report they trusted was altered. Every scan they ran was manipulated. The aliens had been looking at false data, while humanity armed itself in plain sight. A Korthax general tried to activate his personal communicator to alert his fleet. Nothing happened. Marcus told him not to bother. Every communication system in council space was now under human control. Every defense grid was locked down. Every orbital platform was offline. The aliens built their empire on the backs of human labor. Now those same humans controlled everything the aliens depended on. The Selkari Elder asked what humans wanted. Revenge. Destruction. The end of the council. Marcus shook his head. He said humanity did not want to become monsters like them. But there would be justice. There would be consequences. There would be a new order in the galaxy. Marcus pressed another button on the device. The hologram changed to show live feeds from council homeworlds. Alien leaders across the galaxy watched in horror as human ships appeared in their skies, not firing weapons, not launching attacks, just hovering there like silent judges waiting to deliver their verdict. The message was clear. Humanity had the power to end them all, but chose restraint instead. The council chamber erupted into chaos. Some aliens shouted threats. Others begged for mercy. A few tried to rush toward the exits but found them sealed. Marcus stood calm in the center of it all. He raised his hand and the room fell silent again. He told them that every species here would face trial for crimes against humanity, not in this corrupted council, not under their twisted laws, but in courts where humans would finally have a voice. The Vraxian commander refused to accept this. He declared that his empire had millions of warriors ready to fight. Marcus smiled again. He asked the commander to check his military status boards. The Vraxian pulled up his tactical display, and his face went pale. His entire fleet showed as disabled, weapons offline, engines locked, life support running on backup power. Human engineers had installed override codes in every ship the Vraxians ever built using human slave labor. The same was true for every species in the Council. The Korthax battle stations were frozen in space. The Selkiri war machines would not respond to commands. The Draxan planet killers sat silent and useless. Centuries of military might render completely helpless in a single coordinated strike. Humanity had turned the galaxy's own weapons into prisons. Marcus explained the terms. Every slave would be freed immediately. Every human colony would gain independence. Reparations would be paid for generations of suffering. The Council would be dissolved. A new galactic government would be formed with equal representation for all species, including humans. The Council leader finally spoke with fear replacing his arrogance. He asked what would happen if they refused these terms. Marcus walked closer to the hologram and zoomed in on one specific planet. It was Zenther Prime, the most protected world in Council space, home to trillions of aliens, surrounded by defense stations and shield generators. Marcus showed how human operatives had planted devices in the planet's core stabilizers decades ago. He did not threaten to use them. He did not need to. The Council leader understood perfectly. Humanity held the power of life and death over every world that had enslaved them. But unlike the Council, humans were offering choice instead of force. Surrender and face justice, or refuse and face consequences no one wanted. One by one, the alien representatives began to realize their situation. The Korthax general was the first to accept. He lowered his head and agreed to the human terms. The Selkiri elder followed next, then the Draxan war chief. Species after species submitted to the new reality. Their age of dominance was over. The age of human judgment had begun. But the Vraxian commander still resisted. He stood up and declared that his people would never bow to former slaves. He called humans inferior creatures who got lucky. He promised that even if it took 1,000 years, the Vraxians would rise again and crush humanity. Marcus looked at him with something close to pity. He pressed one more button. The hologram showed Vraxian space, their home system, their colony worlds, their industrial stations, all of them surrounded by human fleets 10 times larger than anything the commander imagined. Marcus revealed that humanity did not just build enough ships to threaten the Council. They built enough to fight a galactic war and win. The commander's threats meant nothing against such overwhelming power. 5. The Vraxian commander collapsed back into his seat, his pride shattered, his empire exposed as powerless. He finally asked the question every alien in the room was thinking. How did humanity accomplish all of this? How did a species they considered weak and broken manage to outsmart every advanced civilization in the galaxy? Marcus was happy to explain. He told them about human determination, about how every beating made humans stronger. Every insult made them more united. Every chain made them more creative in finding freedom. The aliens thought they were breaking humanity, but they were actually forging something far more dangerous. A species with nothing to lose and everything to prove. Marcus explained how humans use their position as servants to their advantage. Alien masters never paid attention to their slaves. They never imagined that the human cleaning their floors was memorizing security codes. They never suspected that the human repairing their ships was installing backdoors in the systems. They never realized that the human serving their meals was listening to classified military planning. For 200 years, humans gathered information. They learned every alien language. They studied every technology. They mapped every weakness. And they did it all while pretending to be exactly what the aliens expected. Obedient, harmless, defeated. It was the greatest deception in galactic history. The Council leader asked what happens now. Marcus told him that trials would begin within 1 month. Evidence of war crimes had been collected. Testimonies from millions of human victims were recorded. Justice would be fair, but it would be absolute. Those who committed atrocities would face punishment. Those who showed mercy to humans would receive consideration, but no one would escape accountability. He also announced that Earth was claiming territory. 50 star systems that humanity colonized with their own blood and sweat would become sovereign human space. Any alien found there without permission would be removed. The aliens protested immediately. 50 systems was too much territory, they said. It would destabilize the entire galactic economy. Marcus cut them off sharply. He reminded them that the Council controlled over 8,000 systems. Systems they built using human slave labor. 50 systems was not a demand. It was mercy. Humanity could have claimed everything. Instead, they were choosing justice over revenge. The Selkari elder spoke up with genuine curiosity in her voice. She asked why humans were showing such restraint. After centuries of suffering, why not simply destroy those who cause them pain? Marcus paused before answering. He said that becoming monsters would dishonor every human who died in chains. It would mean the aliens won by turning humanity into something as cruel as them. Humans would prove they were better by building something better. A new galactic charter was presented. Every species would have equal votes regardless of military power or economic strength. Slavery of any kind would result in immediate expulsion and sanctions. Wars of conquest would be prohibited. Disputes would be settled through arbitration instead of violence. It was everything the old council claimed to be, but never was. The council had 48 hours to accept or reject the charter. Marcus made it clear what rejection meant. Human fleets would remain in position. Blockades would continue. Eventually, alien populations would pressure their leaders to accept terms anyway. But every day of delay would add another year to the reparation period. Time was now a weapon pointed at the council. Marcus and the human delegation left the chamber. The aliens sat in stunned silence. Some were angry, some were afraid, but most were simply shocked at how completely the galaxy had changed in a single day. The species that was supposed to serve forever had become the judge of all.